Paul was like our sixth brother. We included him in everything.
His dad and my dad used to race horses together.
I didn't learn this until after. But yeah, I heard he was in the top 5% of punters in Australia.
Stand by, and they're racing in the Melbourne Cup.
They knew he would chase his losses. He was there like golden goose. What do I think of the sports betting industry? I think they're a pack of pigs. They just prey on the weak.
They don't care whose lives they disrupt or who they hurt along the way, or the trail of carnage they leave behind. And it is carnage. We've been through it, so we can tell you that.
I'm Wayne Gurney. I'm the second oldest brother of 5. I've been involved with Gurney Earth Moving RDS for a period of 30 years now. And very proud of what we built.
The Gurney brothers took over the family construction business from their father in the early 1990s.
We started off small, but we just grew gradually over the years, and we needed an accountant. And Paul, being family, we thought he'd be the perfect fit.
Paul Montgomery began working with the business in 2004. He later became general manager. While the Gurney brothers worked on the projects, he managed the finances.
We thought we were going quite well and we're doing a lot of work and we're turning over big dollars. But something wasn't quite gelling. Reward wasn't equaling effort. And we come in here absolutely fatigued on a Friday and just wonder, what are we doing wrong?
That's the account that Paul set up.
After a dispute between the brothers about why the business was struggling, a forensic accountant was called in.
We quickly worked out that there was a large amount of money being drawn out of this business. It was going to personal accounts, personal credit cards, and the details on the personal credit cards were effectively payments to betting agencies. It is extraordinary, the quantum of money that was leaving this account.
Dan Haynes has worked as a forensic accountant for nearly 20 years. He was stunned to learn that Paul Montgomery had stolen millions from the Gurney brothers.
It was shocking, to be honest. In total, it was 17 different betting agencies, payments totalling over $11.5 million in at least 10 years.
To find out it was him was just, I can't put into words. It was just, David and I were both there and we just, no, can't put into words.
Paul Montgomery had put the company on the brink of bankruptcy.
We had a company that was on its knees that employed 150 people. We had to put people off. I had to sell my house and go to a unit. Then you think you've let your family down.
It wasn't good. It wasn't a good time in our life. It tore the family apart, to be honest.
In 2020, Paul Montgomery was charged with fraud.
This financial loss is one of the highest experienced in Queensland in recent times that we're aware of.
So do you have anything to say about these allegations?
Last October, he was sentenced to 10 years in prison with a non-parole period of 2 years and 10 months. Less than 10% of the money stolen was returned to the brothers in a civil settlement with Paul Montgomery. But the betting agencies that had profited from his crimes kept millions of dollars that he'd stolen to fund his gambling.
To me, it's proceeds of crime, so no one's supposed to benefit from proceeds of crime, but it seems to me that they have.
That's when he got that extra 200 out. That's his last hit.
The brothers wanted to take legal action to try and get all of their money back off the betting companies, but lawyers warned against it.
They told us we were wasting our time and money. It wouldn't be worth it. They would throw everything they could at it to win the case, because if ever they lost, it was just the start of an avalanche.
Looking back, they say the betting agencies were responsible for keeping Montgomery gambling despite his heavy losses through bonus bets and corporate hospitality.
They just lavished everything on Paul. He once boasted he could go to any sporting event in Australia.
McRae, all the way.
Former Waratah and NRL player Duncan McRae was one of the betting industry salesmen duchessing Montgomery.
Duncan was the one come down to Melbourne. You know, it was the Magic Millions with him and championships in Sydney with Duncan. Oh, everything was laid on. There's really no expense spared, like food, alcohol, the corporate box.
According to the forensic accounting report, the betting agencies that Duncan McRae worked for, including Bluebet, received around $2.5 million from Montgomery over a 7-year period.
VIP managers like Duncan are living the lifestyle they are now purely off the devastation they caused to others.
Another former NRL player, Jess Kane, was also encouraging Montgomery to keep betting. He was a VIP manager at Sportsbet at the time. These emails obtained by 7:30 were sent by Jess Kane to Montgomery, inviting him to Sydney for the Golden Slipper, to AFL and NRL events, and a dinner with State of Origin legend Darren Lockyer, as well as offers of free bonus bets. The inducements appeared to work, with financial records showing that Sportsbet received $4.5 million from Montgomery over 7 years. Betting agencies are meant to ask for proof of income to prevent fraud and money laundering. The brothers say that Bet365 and Tabcorp asked Montgomery for evidence, but they believe Bluebet and Sportsbet turned a blind eye.
There's no way that he could afford to punt like that. It was just, to my mind, he was $140,000 a year. He was punting, some of his turnover in 1 year was $5 million.
The sports betting industry is accused of saturating the media when it comes to advertising. But you couldn't accuse them of the same when it comes to granting interviews about their business practices. Duncan McRae and Jess Kane did not return my calls, and neither Sportsbet or Bluebet put anyone up for interview. We asked both agencies if they asked Montgomery for proof of income. In a statement, Sportsbet said, "Sportsbet cannot discuss the circumstances of individual customers. We adhere to our regulatory obligations and continue to strengthen our systems and processes. We take our responsibility for supporting safer gambling and mitigating the risk of financial crime very seriously." In an email, Bluebet said it had no comment. As for VIP managers, they are provided with incentives to keep the likes of Montgomery gambling. 7:30 has obtained a contract for one of Sportsbet's VIP managers at the time. It shows commissions of up to 20% being paid to its sales staff on customers' net losses.
It is absolutely appalling that people are being incentivised to prey on problem gamblers and maximise their losses.
So we did set up the working group and we brought...
Independent MP Kate Cheney sat on the parliamentary inquiry into online gambling harm. Its recommendations included a ban on commissions, inducements, and on gambling advertising. But she believes the government is set to buckle in the face of industry pressure.
While they say that it's about public health, it is clearly about protecting the broadcast media in an election year.
Communications Minister Michelle Rowland declined 7:30's interview request.
To me, the recommendations are quite easy to implement and they're fair. And having a national regulatory body that oversees all of it, yes, that would be a start in the right direction, and I reckon it should be passed fully.
The Gurney brothers have rebuilt their business, but want the laws changed to prevent others suffering like they have.
Something's got to be done to stop what's happening. It's too late for us now, but I don't want to see anyone else go through what we've been through, because it's not good. It was years and years of hell.